I'm feeling good.
Let's listen to what Black people had to say about the Kevin Hart roast, and then I'm going to give my commentary at the end.
Katt Williams did not read the teleprompter. He is the only one on the Kevin Hart roast that did not read the teleprompter. That man came out and he did a set. And let me tell you, this is why he's always going to be better than Kevin. He actually went out there and he literally, it was just, he don't like Kevin. He talked about the Illuminati. He talked about him being a puppet. The stuff that he said about Kevin, he reiterated in joke form, but it wasn't a joke. How he called him an industry plant, how he called Kevin a puppet. He called Kevin a coon twice in the set. He said that he was in a homosexual relationship with The Rock. He said a whole bunch of stuff, and he didn't actually apologize. I just want people to pick, did you pick that up? He didn't apologize. He said, I said some things over the years, like calling you this. And then he reiterated with a joke. And I don't know if he really didn't, because he's the executive producer. There's no way that Regina Hall was going to introduce Katt without Kevin knowing. Especially because they've been so beefed out. Like, they've been beefing for real. They've been going back and forth for years. And the fact that, like, they showed Tiffany, because Katt and Tiffany were beefing too. It was Kevin and Tiffany against Katt. And Katt was slaying them. All right? He called Kevin homosexual. He told him the slay queen. Like, all funny, but they weren't jokes. This is why Katt is so respected. He said, I'm the only one up here that has a soul. Did anybody listen to what Katt Williams was saying? Because I don't think you did. Go back, rewatch it, and listen to how he was saying them jokes. They were not jokes, and I don't care what you say. He did not read that teleprompter. He didn't even look up at the teleprompter. He looked at the audience, and he told them jokes. And he told a lot of jokes not looking at Kevin. Katt Williams. That was probably the best I've seen. First of all, that's the best one of the night, because this roast is trash. But he came out there and he... Just watch it. I don't care what nobody say. Like, Kevin tried to stop him, was like, we're going to do this in front of everybody on television live. We've been beefing out for years, and we're going to squash the beef. And, Katt went in for the handshake, and, Kevin brought him in for like the little bro hug, and they said something to each other, and then Katt grabbed his coat and he ran out. I don't care what nobody say. If I was Kevin, I would be pissed. Everything else was scripted. Katt was not. And I don't care what nobody say. That was the actual roast. It was Katt.
If you actually think that Kevin Hart and Katt Williams squashed their beef at his roast last night, I have a bridge from California to China I want to sell you. Listen, there is no way these two squashed their beef. Katt Williams is always going to tell you the truth, okay? And he said in his act that this was him selling out. He needed the money. And so that leads me to believe, although there's no way for me to confirm, that there is some sort of contract deal between Katt Williams and Kevin Hart. Katt Williams was actually dipping into Kevin Hart's money, even though Kevin Hart is still, working. The rumors were swirling, and people were looking at Kevin Hart sideways. And I don't know about y'all, but I watched his most recent special. It was not funny. I barely got a laugh out of Kevin Hart's special. So they're looking to Katt Williams to squash that beef. He's the one on higher ground. And so Katt Williams obviously found an amount of money that was acceptable to him as a father with children who are no doubt college age by now, a person who might want to retire at some point. He found an amount that was okay for him. And it wasn't lost upon me that he wore that large dark winged duck hat so that we couldn't see his eyes. And even when the time came to shake hands, although Comedy Hype News says that there was some hesitation, there was no hesitation. The man was shifting from foot to foot. He just did not want to shake that man's hand, but he realized he had to do what he had to do to complete the contract, to earn his money. And it's not lost upon me that that Kevin Hart waited until Katt Williams left the stage to get his lick back. But I assure you that beef is not over. They may have called a truce for financial sakes, but Katt Williams still don't like that man.
My thing is people only watch the Kevin Hart roast because of Katt Williams. So as much as Kevin Hart wants to say Katt Williams is a non-factor and that he's mad because he wasn't in any of his movies, the truth of the matter remains that the only reason why people watched that roast was because of Katt Williams. Katt Williams stood on everything he said. At least I hope he did. I don't know what they told that man to get him to come up there, or maybe it was just pure pettiness. And if it was pure pettiness coming from Katt Williams, I'd 100% believe. The way Kevin Hart was shaking his leg on stage, that man was terrified. He didn't know what the next thing would be to come out of Katt Williams' mouth. And I honestly think Katt Williams was a little easy on him. I know that man had way more to say than that, but he couldn't say it all. So he just, said what was most appropriate for the roast. Kevin Hart doesn't realize he's on the top of the world now only because he did exactly the opposite of what people like Katt Williams and Monique did to pioneer as black comedians in the industry. He cooned his way into it. Everything that they said they weren't going to do because they stood for something, he did the exact opposite. And that's why he is where he is right now.
The only thing I'm going to say about Katt Williams going to this roast, this Kevin Hart roast, is that Netflix had to have 2 Brinks trucks parked outside with Katt name and face on the tag.
Hey, if y'all watch this damn Kevin Hart roast on Netflix, this shit is uncomfortable, but it's funny. But it's uncomfortable. It's like weird. Like, why is this group of people put together? It doesn't make any sense at all. And Katt Williams, he still hates that nigga. They ain't nothing changed. And I also feel like they playing in our face. Like, it's some real Hollywood fucked up shit that they're saying that be happening. It's jokes about PDFs. Like, the shit's funny now. This shit just don't seem right. I'm not even finished watching. I just saw part of the Katt Williams stuff on other TikToks, and then I decided to go watch the whole thing for myself. But even some of the people that are doing the roasting are like uncomfortable saying the things that they're saying about each other. It's crazy. And in some cases they reference that there are writers behind all these jokes, but they also say that in every single joke there's a bit of truth, and that's what makes it funny. I almost feel like it's a show for the Hollywood people, but they just invited regular people also.
I'm going to say this. Kevin Hart's a genius. He knew exactly what he was doing. He's very strategic. He understands how to make good TV and capitalize on a moment. He's a comedian. So putting Katt Williams on the spot and that hug and let's just squash it. I want to be brothers and all of that. Ratings. Because now everybody going to run to Netflix to watch that shit over and over and over to get a hot takes and just eat it up. But I think people like Katt Williams, unless there is changed behavior on your part or there is a genuine apology for whatever harm was caused, it's going to always be up. Now, if they come together and collaborate and make some real money, give us comedic gold, I think everything, all emotional, psychological debt will be paid up. But outside of that, you can't squash a beef without fixing what harm was caused. Because otherwise, the problem's going to come back as a rebrand. It's going to come back in a different form.
I just finished the roast of Kevin Hart. I didn't expect black people to get lynched or for them to call that black woman a man that much. But you know what? I laughed at some stuff. I did. But oh my God.
What if I told you celebrity roast is just another form of public humiliation? Kevin Hart recently got roasted, and it's for a new Netflix special. And of course, The celebrities were all there. Although Katt Williams did make an appearance and said, "Why the hell was I invited?" I'm not saying verbatim what he said, but he said, basically, "I hate the guy. He hates me. Like, why did you invite me? Is that how little star power you guys have? But I'll accept the paycheck." And what if I told you that this goes back to Greek times, Roman times? There's always been this sort of, I guess, banter back and forth, putting each other down, having these type of conversations, insults, right? Hurling insults at each other. But now it became popularized in the mid-1900s with the Friars Club. And we know that there's many popular roasts out there of Steve Martin, Muhammad Ali, even Tom Brady recently. And I find it interesting watching their faces look perplexed as their own friends tell them the things about themselves that they know is true. Now, this is why this is important. These people who are the celebrities are the people that attended all those P. Diddy parties, all the Jeffrey Epstein outings, as this one, Chelsea Handler, claimed, "Yeah, I did go to an Epstein party with Katie Couric," right? That was mentioned in this row. But without giving anything away, what you have to understand, these taboo statements, these things that you would say to somebody that you normally wouldn't say out loud, has become popularized in our culture in order to help you accept who these people truly are. Make no mistakes about it. The reason why this is pushed in mainstream, popularize this idea that these people do bad things, it's okay, move on with the rest of your day, and let's laugh about it. People know that the reason comedy is always so good is because it hits home. Even to us, when we hear jokes that actually relate to what we're going through personally in our lives, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So what do you think about roasts like this? Do you feel that this is just another humiliation tactic? I truly believe it is. And I believe that the elite power structures in play love seeing the fools, the court jesters, the people who entertain them go out and make another fool of themselves. However, I do like watching because it does help me realize, wow, these people really do have a lot of dark secrets. They all party with each other. They know each other very well. They've probably seen each other do certain things. Just remember, folks, it's all one big club, and you're not a part of it.
Since we talking about Kevin Hart and that atrocity of a show that he put on Netflix and I call him a sellout and y'all told me that I was jealous and I'm just a hater, let's talk about the lineup of racist, misogynistic comedians that he platformed. And let me tell you this before I even get started. If you can't be funny without being racist and misogynistic, then you're not a creative. And you're not even funny for real because the joke's not even funny. They just blatant racism and ignorance and bigotry. And you went up there and called a black woman a Babadook and you over there making all these colorist jokes. You've never been funny. These are Xbox 360 jokes from 2009. That is not funny to me and it never should have been platformed. You put a comedian on the stage that said, nobody tells you about holding your baby for the first time and your meat get hard. That's the type of comedians that you platforming with your roast of Kevin Hart. But y'all said that I'm jealous and I'm a hater and I'm a sellout because I said that he a sellout. It's clear and blatant that Kevin Hart sold out on a black community. It's clear. And when I speak up about it, I just need y'all to shut up sometime because everything in the dark comes to the light. Or as the comedians, these racist Kill Tony comedians and stuff would say, oh, I would love to play hide and go seek with you because they would never find you, you so dark. That's not funny. I'm gonna just show y'all the whole video. I didn't record the original video. This girl named 𝒲𝒶𝓎 recorded it and posted it herself, so I'm gonna tag her too.
But at least you can tell them apart from all the other blacks.
No, hold up, let me, let me talk.
Cheryl has a daytime Emmy because nobody can see her at night.
He's running for a seat in the Big Mama's House of Representatives. With a name like Draymond Green, he only had a few options in life. Pro athlete, pimp in a documentary.
The Babadook, Cheryl Underwood is here. Hello, ma'am. We play hide and seek later, you're on my team. What can you say about Kevin that hasn't already been yelled out by a guy with Tourette's at the BAFTAs?
Nice flute, you fat fucking bitch.
He looks like the type of slave owner that you can trick into buying Kevin Hart. If Kevin was a slave, his song would be Let My People Grow. Earl Underwood, more like under a rock. Who even is this bitch? You look like a grape Laffy Taffy that went through the dryer. How have you been sitting next to me and playing drums the whole night? That hair look like your own pussy.
I'm not gonna lie. The Kevin Hart roast, the funniest thing in there, which we can all probably agree, was damn Regina Hall's face. That shit was hilarious. It looked as though nobody gave her no rundown on what exactly is about to go down or to the extent it's about to get, because she was looking around like, how come we ain't throwing hands yet? That shit was hilarious. Even the cameraman started to like try to crop her out, like keep her out of the view. By the end, if you watch it back, they tried to keep her out the cameras, because at first they gave her some close-ups, and then they saw her face. They're like, ooh, so they took her off like the main thing. You know what I'm saying? And then the comedian's not even trying to play with her. Like the comedian's like, I'll pass. That was funny as hell, because apparently in that little group or in Hollywood, it is quite evident, it's quite clear that Regina Hall's not one to play with, because it seemed as though people are like, please don't have her get up and start throwing hands for real. Regina Hall's face looked like on a girl, you say, like you and your girl, like y'all hanging around, right? And then you say a joke or you say something funny, but then like another girl laughs way too hard. You're so funny. Regina Hall was making the face that your girl would make the whole time. That shit was hilarious. Well, it was kind of outlandish. Some of the stuff was. I was very surprised at how much stuff they let get through, because it was all written. It was all on a little teleprompter thing. And they talked about how they went back and forth on letting some jokes go, but some of the ones they let go was insane. Like for anybody, like even in the comedy space, there's like, hold on now. That's what we doing?
All right, so I'm in the middle of watching Kevin Hart's Netflix special. I'm halfway through it. And let me just say this. I'm not the biggest comedy fan. I feel like I'm like a regular person that watch comedy specials and like maybe go to a comedy show here and there or whatever. I'm not like a diehard comedy fan, okay? So like I'm not in the thick of it, so my perspective may be a little jaded. I don't like white comedians making like racist jokes. Like it's not funny to me. Like I don't know, I don't like it. When you sit up there and you make like jokes about black people being like dark skinned, like or being black, it's not funny to me. And I feel like everybody else is laughing, but I'm like, it's like, I don't really like it. And I get it. Well, maybe I don't. I understand that it's just jokes. And like, I feel like comedy is a place that maybe that you should be able to like say any kind of joke. And it's like, you shouldn't be offended. And like, that's the one space that people can be free and we can laugh at ourselves, right? But honestly, Sheryl Underwood, she really don't bother nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you get up there and talk about her complexion or talk about the fact that her husband committed suicide, okay. It feels different for me when I hear a white man say it. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It bothers me, y'all. And maybe I need to understand more about the history of roast, because I have watched roast before, but I feel like maybe I don't have the depth or the reach to speak on this topic. But I will say, I don't like when white people be making jokes about black people that are like, with the foundation being like race. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's a joke to you, but I be feeling like it's like racist. I feel like you really kind of feel like that. I don't know. I'm working on it. You know what I feel like? I feel like Regina Hall sitting up there. Regina Hall had no look of amusement. And you notice they kind of really left Regina Hall alone. So anyway, that was just the first half that I saw. I'm going to come back to it and maybe like try to like be a little bit more open. But I don't like when white people make racist jokes because it's not funny to me. I feel like it's just like we not that far removed from like the bullshit. Like,
so the Kevin Hart roast was last night, and I absolutely hated all the jokes towards Sheryl Underwood. They weren't funny to me. They were definitely getting very offensive. They quickly went from a joke to colorist real fast. And I'm glad when she got on that mic, when she took that stand, she reminded them like, yo, you in Inglewood. Watch how you talking. You could get dealt with. I didn't like the fact that these jokes were coming from white men. I just didn't like anything about it. Like, let's put some respect on her. And I get it. They are comedians. I'm from the 90s. Comedians could say whatever they wanted to and get away with it. But these jokes just weren't funny. They weren't funny at all. And it's like, what are y'all doing? What are you doing? But she absolutely demolished them. She was one of the best of the night for me. For real. I absolutely feel like Kevin Hart deserved better. I feel like the Tom Brady roast was better. But I totally felt like they should have watched their mouths. Am I wrong to be feeling this way because they're comedians? She was a great sport. I just didn't like what they were saying.
I know I'm way too woke for any comedy roast because I don't find nothing about what happened to George Floyd funny. I'm not laughing at that. That's not a... I don't find no humor in that. I don't care who tell a damn joke. I don't care how you try and flip it. And it damn sure ain't funny coming from the white man. But I think that's just where we differ. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Hart got on this platform today and he says, you know, that's what a roast is about. It's hard-hitting jokes. And you know, they gonna tell jokes without any consequences. My only beef, you know, listen, at this point, we know what the white comedians gonna do when they get that Netflix opportunity to do a roast when it comes to some black folks. We know how far they gonna take it. My issue now is with the black comedians. Y'all still up there trying to laugh and kiki, and you clearly see what type of time they on with the jokes. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't find nothing funny about no lynching. I'm not laughing at that. Sorry, especially if it comes from somebody who benefited from the lynching of black folks. Like, it just ain't funny to me. And I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of them white comedians like to mask the racism under dark humor. That, like, if they say the most racist, foul joke, right, they can do that no matter how anti-black it is and still throw it up under the guise of dark humor, and then we supposed to just not forget about it, right? We just not supposed to react to it. Nah, I don't subscribe to that. Me personally, I'm not telling what nobody else to believe. I'm just telling you me.
The roast of Kevin Hart was so weird, and I think it shows how black people sell their soul in a way, because the black people were so comfortable with the racist jokes, with the, oh, your ancestors picked cotton and call it deadlifting. I didn't laugh. That's a very traumatic event for us. They're just too comfortable. I think it's showing how comfortable Hollywood is with disrespecting black people and covering it with jokes. Because like they say, there's truth in all jokes. I don't like that. Why the fuck? Why was that funny? It was a whole lot of racist jokes. And I was just like, oh? I didn't laugh not one bit. It wasn't funny. I didn't laugh. Maybe my mood stabilizers, maybe because it wasn't funny. But however, shit just wasn't funny. It was very racist. Very disrespectful.
So this Kevin Hart roast is terrible. Like, awful, actually. And there are, like, several things wrong with the roast. But, like, of course, number one, Kevin Hart. Like, these people are laughing at you. Like, this isn't a roast. Like, they really, like, they wiped the floor with you. And you laughed at everything. Like, I didn't see a joke where he did not laugh. And of course, I'm basing all this off clips, because why in my free time would I watch Kevin Hart get roasted for 2 hours? That seems like a waste of my time. And then too, just like all the other black people in the room, like, it was a lot of black jokes. Like, of course you're roasting a black man. Okay, maybe it's a black joke here and there, but it was a lot of black jokes. And everybody was laughing. It's like, okay, like, now just isn't a good time for black people just in general. It's never really been a great time for black people. Y'all are laughing a little bit too hard. And y'all saying it's to Kevin Hart, but y'all really talking to black people in general. And as a black, I don't appreciate y'all making so many jokes about us. Like, put Kevin Hart in our own category by himself. And then all the other, like, black comedians and black people that were in there being a part of the roast, I'm like, okay, like, why are you here? Because more than anything, despite Kevin Hart being, like, a terrible person and doing anything for money, this is a black man. Y'all just making fun of a black man for funsies. Y'all getting paid to make fun of a black man. Only person I can stand beside is Katt Williams. Because Katt Williams got up there and was like, I actually don't want to be here. I don't like this man. I don't care that he shook his hand at the end. He was like, I don't like you. I'm going to tell everybody that I don't like you. You can laugh as hard as you want to. I'm talking directly to you. So yeah, this really just solidified the fact that Kevin Hart would do anything for money. That man laughed his behind off the entire roast. He thought everything was funny. So yeah, shout out to his wife that he cheated on with his current wife. Shout out to her, because she really got out, not realizing that she needs to get out at the time that she did. So big shouts out to her.
Tony Hinchcliffe puts his foot in his mouth during Kevin Hart's roast, where he makes one questionable joke about ninjas on planes, okay. But then he says, well, George Floyd is looking up at us and he can't breathe.
Hart is a black comedian from Philadelphia, and like Bill Cosby, women don't know when Kevin is inside of them. You've done good though, Kevin. The black community is so proud of you right now. George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe.
Now, I don't even know why the fuck Kevin laughing. Because, yeah, maybe his other jokes you could have ha-ha'd a little bit. But that one, it was unnecessary because it was just wanting to bring up George Floyd. And you hear this a lot with racist people. I don't understand what's the racist people obsession with George Floyd. I don't get that. Like, that's one of, like, if you had to ask me a question I could not answer, I cannot answer the obsession with racist people bringing up George Floyd. Because at the end of the day, that's still just a man who senselessly lost his life. And then you insinuate that he's looking up at us as he went to hell, right? You should have just said Charlie Kirk at that point, because wasn't people losing their job for that? Same guy that called Puerto Rico an island of garbage. Once again, the jokes never land on white folks. And another thing, can white people do jokes without being racist? Because I'm starting to think it's not actually a thing.
Is anybody watching the roast of Kevin Hart on Netflix?
No. Absolutely not. It doesn't even look like something I would want to watch. No.
You know, watching that Kevin Hart roast, what really hit me wasn't just that some jokes went too far. It's that a lot of those jokes exposed how many white comedians still feel way too comfortable being openly racist toward black people, and especially black women, as long as they can hide behind the word comedy. This wasn't clever, sharp roasting. It was lazy, tired, old-school racist humor dressed up as edgy. The so black jokes, the constant shots at dark skin, the way black women's looks and bodies were treated like a punching bag. That wasn't equal opportunity roasting. That was punching down. It felt less like they were joking with us and more like they were joking at us. The George Floyd joke is the perfect example, turning a modern-day lynching, a global symbol of black pain and police violence, into a throwaway line for shock value is not comedy to me. It's a reminder that for some people, Black death is still entertainment. There's a long history in this country of black suffering being turned into a spectacle, and you could feel that history in the silence and discomfort in the room when that joke landed. Then you look at what they did to Cheryl Underwood, joking about her husband's suicide, her trauma, in front of her, in a crowd, just to get a reaction. That's not no-holds-barred roasting. That's cruelty. And when you stack that on top of colorist jokes, jokes about her appearance, jokes about her pain, joking about how she looks like the Babadook, it paints a clear picture. Some folks don't see black women as people with real wounds. They see us as props. What really tells the truth is the reaction from black viewers, and even the energy on that stage. You could see the uncomfortable laugh, the forced smiles, the "we're supposed to find this funny" faces. When the main people being joked about aren't laughing, but the people outside that group are, that's not just about taste. That's about power and how people really feel when they think they can get away with it. To me, that roast didn't just miss the mark, it revealed something. It showed that underneath the "it's just jokes" mask, a lot of overt racist attitudes are still very alive. And comedy spaces, especially when controlled by white comics, are still used as a safe zone to say things about black people that they know they could never say in a serious conversation. So when people say, "Y'all are being too sensitive," or "it's just a roast," I push back. Because if your joke depends on black pain, black death, and black trauma to get a laugh, then it's not just a joke, it's a confession. It's you telling on yourself about how you really see us.